Look at that. It's a beautiful thing. 5 games, all 10 teams in action this weekend. 5 Big 12 teams listed in the latest CFP rankings. We start the day with Kansas in Stillwater and TCU heading out to Lubbock. Afternoon slate features the newly ranked Longhorns traveling to snow-covered Ames in those upper 30 temperatures. And Cyclone 80 Jamie Pollard's got jokes.
I'm just up here spending a little time getting ready for the big Iowa State-Texas game. And I know my good friend Chris Keaontay, with his southern blood, is going to be coming up here. And he's so worried it's going to be so cold. So I just wanted to be a really good host. And so look what we've got pulled together here for this. Because Chris, I got you some gloves in case you're cold. Got a scarf. I know you like scarf. You're just, you wear clothes really well, Chris. The scarf will look good.
West Virginia will travel to Manhattan in the other afternoon game. Then the big one this weekend, undefeated Baylor hosting Oklahoma in the nightcap. What's up, everybody? Big 12 Big Football presented by Dr. Pepper is on your screen. As mentioned, we've got 5 teams in the CFP rankings, all 10 teams in action this weekend. It's a huge weekend in the Big 12. Plus, College GameDay in Waco for Oklahoma visiting Baylor. Let's start there. Baylor is one of only 5 remaining unbeaten teams in the FBS. They'll host Oklahoma, who sits right behind the Bears in the Big 12 standings. ESPN College GameDay sets up shop in Waco for the first time since 2015. Coincidentally, the Bears played Oklahoma that year as well. Baylor got pushed to the brink by TCU last weekend, but the Bears yet again found a way to win the game in triple overtime. Except for Baylor's win over Kansas State, the Bears have won all of their conference games by 1 score. From 2-point wins to 8-point wins, with the exception of that K-State game, Baylor has gotten it done in close games since league play started. And maybe that's being held against them by the CFP selection committee. To me, at the end of the day, they're finding ways to win the game. And that's a long ways removed from where this program was just 3 years ago.
Yeah, the first year was hard. It was hard for the players, and it was kind of a continuation of a hard year the year before. And but I think the whole time that we went through that 1-11 season, we just kept preaching the message. We kept preaching patience and just to continue to work. And for them to have some payoff last year, to win some games, to go to a bowl game, to have that experience as a team, I think it showed them that all the hard work was worth it. And so the nice thing is when you kind of start to have some success, it goes from being Coach Rule's way or Coach Snow's way or Coach Nixon's way, it starts to become our way. And that really is what you want as a program, is you want everyone to firmly believe in the things that we're asking each other to do.
Oklahoma sits at number 10 in the rankings. The Sooners got back to their winning ways, albeit in a way that probably gave a few Sooners a heart attack on Saturday. The thing that sprung the OU offense in the Iowa State game was the fact that the Sooners got back to being able to run the football. 226 rushing yards against the Cyclones. The Sooners are 12th in the country and 2nd in the league in rushing offense. As good as CeeDee Lamb in that passing attack has been, it's the threat of Jalen taking off or Kennedy Brooks bursting free that allows everything to be so explosive for the Sooners.
You always want to be great in the backfield. I mean, that's those guys, they're going to always handle the ball so much, and we rely on them on so much. But having a mobile quarterback is something we strive to have. Not that, every one of them is going to be like Kyler Murray, but at the same time, we want guys that can move around and can create and aren't just statues back there in the pocket.
Heading into this weekend, here's a look at the current standings. Either the top is going to stay the same or flip-flop after Saturday night. Texas is still in there and alive. We'll get to their game here in a minute. Kansas State and Oklahoma State are both bowl eligible and 500 in conference play. The Cyclones are 1 win away from another bowl berth as well. Let's get it up to Ames in that 2:30 matchup with the Cyclones and the Longhorns. The home team is coming off a gutsy comeback performance that came up just short at Norman a week ago, and now hosts Texas in a pivotal game for both teams. Iowa State's defense against Oklahoma in the second half was as impressive as it gets. The Cyclones have given up just 7 second-half points in 3 of their last 4 games, and they'll need to continue that trend this week. Texas got down early against K-State, but the offense got rolling right out of the halftime locker room, and the Horns were able to set up Cameron Dicker with a game-winning field goal attempt. A huge part of the Longhorns' second-half success in that game, Keaontay Ingram and his career-high 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ingram started the third quarter off with a bang and didn't look back, consistently popping off for 10-plus yard runs throughout the game. This guy is really impressive. And if the Horns get Ingram rolling on a consistent basis, Texas is going to fare well down the stretch of the season.
As a true freshman, it's hard to really settle into the mold of what college football is. And he had an incredible spring, just slicing through the defense. He's a spectacular talent, and I'm really excited for him to get comfortable with the game of college football and show everybody what he can really do.
His running style is, he's a bit of a slasher. He's a one-cut guy, and it doesn't take a lot for him when he does get in the open field to get it up to top speed.
Cyclones and Longhorns, 2:30 p.m. on FS1. Now, I want to mention one other team real quick. Oklahoma State. They've won 2 games in a row after a little bit of outside noise started creeping in after that loss to Baylor. The Pokes went up to Ames and beat Iowa State, then took down a really tough TCU team the following week. TCU's record does not indicate how good they are. Most everybody's had a hard time with the Horned Frogs this season, maybe with the exception of Iowa State. The Cowboys in their last 2 wins really mixed things up on offense. Against the Cyclones, Spencer Sanders was tremendous, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Chuba Hubbard, for all intents and purposes, was held to his season low in rushing yards. But then against TCU, the offensive approach flip-flopped. Hubbard went for 223, while Spencer Sanders only threw 15 passes in the game, and he still had 2 touchdowns. All that's to say, OSU is becoming dangerous because they're able to switch things up based on what a defense is giving them, and that's a really nice luxury to have. 11 a.m. Central on that kick from Stillwater. Game on Fox Sports 1. Now let's wrap things up from the top plays from a week ago.
Oklahoma looking for a big score here. CeeDee Lamb in motion, takes the fake, Hurts, waits, powers his way in for another touchdown. His 5th total in the first half.
At least one of the top 4 unbeatens will lose with LSU playing Alabama this afternoon. Duffy has a man in stride at midfield and gone.
That's your announcers.
Dalton Rigdon.
That's your announcers.
And what a quick strike for Duffy and the Red Raiders, 81 yards.
Keaontay Ingram carrying the load today, a career high in rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. K-State electing to return this one. Youngblood has running room past the 30-yard line. Kicker to beat. Goodbye. Youngblood takes it the distance. 98-yard kick return for a touchdown. The hold's good. The kick is perfect. Texas wins. Gets rid of it. That ball is picked off. Parnell Motley.
Here's the plan for this weekend. You got 2 TVs, or you got a TV and a laptop and a phone and a TV, a phone and a big screen. Figure it out. You've got 2 11 a.m. games, 2 2:30 games, finishing things up Saturday night with that 6:30 kick from Waco. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.